Every once in a while, a car comes along that really shakes things up. And for me, the upcoming 2026 mg ZS EV feels like one of those moments. If you've been following MG over the last few years, you'll know the ZS EV has been one of the brand's big success stories, an affordable, practical electric SUV that didn't try to overcomplicate things. But now, with this 2026 model, MG looks like it's taking everything to the next level. The first thing you notice, obviously, is the design. MG has gone bolder than ever. The front grille, even though it's still mostly closed off because it's an EV, has this strong, aggressive look with sharp chrome accents and that proud MG logo right in the center. The headlights are slimmer, sleeker, and flow directly into the grille, giving it this futuristic, almost concept car vibe. From the side, you can see the muscular stance has been dialed up. Wider wheel arches, sportier alloy wheels, and just the right amount of contouring along the doors give it that confident, premium look. And around the back, the connected taillight bar is one of those design touches that instantly makes the car feel more high-tech. Honestly, park this next to the current ZS EV and you'll immediately see how much sharper and more modern it looks. But of course, design is only part of the story. MG has actually made a really interesting move with the 2026 ZS EV. They're offering a hybrid option alongside the full electric. Now, I know some purists might say, wait, isn't this supposed to be an EV? But I think it's smart. The hybrid setup is perfect for buyers who like the idea of electrification but still want the reassurance of a petrol backup, especially in markets where charging infrastructure is still patchy. Meanwhile, the pure electric version is said to be getting a bigger battery and a range figure that edges past the 500-kilometer mark, which is a huge step forward compared to the earlier models. And here's the bit I wasn't expecting: MG is actually giving the ZS EV a bit of an off-road edge. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not suddenly a hardcore mudslinging SUV, but with slightly raised ground clearance, optional all-wheel drive, and some clever drive modes for snow, gravel, and even mild trails, it feels like MG wants this to be more than just a city commuter. For families who like weekend adventures, that's a really smart move. Imagine cruising silently through a forest road in an EV SUV, pretty cool, right? Step inside, and you can see MG has really been listening to feedback. The old ZS EV's cabin was decent, but it always felt a little behind the curve. The 2026 interior changes that completely. The dashboard now wraps around the driver with this big, floating curved display that combines the instrument cluster and the infotainment screen in one seamless panel. The graphics are crisp, smooth, and way more futuristic than before. The center console has been cleaned up with fewer physical buttons, but space is still one of the ZS EV's strong points. The rear seats are roomy enough for adults, and the boot has grown slightly thanks to some clever packaging of the battery. You even get a small front storage space, a frunk, which is great for charging cables or smaller bags. And speaking of charging, MG claims the updated EV can fast charge to 80% in under 30 minutes, which makes long-distance trips far more practical. Now let's talk about the part everyone's curious about: pricing. MG has always been about value, and it looks like they're sticking to that strategy. The 2026 ZS EV isn't going to suddenly jump into premium territory. Early reports suggest the hybrid version will come in at just a little above the outgoing petrol model, while the full EV should remain one of the most affordable electric SUVs in its class, even with all the upgrades. That's a big deal, because if you look at competitors, Hyundai Kona Electric, Kia Niro EV, even the BYD Atto 3, they all cost noticeably more. MG seems to be saying, why pay extra when we can give you style, range, and features for less? What really excites me, though, is how far MG has come in such a short time. Think back to the very first ZS EV that came out. It was good value, sure, but it looked a bit plain and the range wasn't all that competitive. Fast forward to today, and the 2026 version looks sharp, has tech to rival the big names, offers hybrid flexibility, and even hints at off-road fun. It's honestly one of the most complete packages MG has ever put out. So here's the big question: would I recommend it? If you're someone who wants a practical, stylish SUV that won't break the bank, the answer is a big yes. The hybrid gives peace of mind, the EV gives freedom from fuel costs, and both versions give you that fresh MG design that actually turns heads now. I think this could be one of those cars that really broadens MG's audience. Not just early adopters or budget buyers, but families and even enthusiasts who want something a little different. The 2026 mg ZSEV is proof that MG isn't just playing catch-up anymore, they're setting the pace. And honestly, I can't wait to see these out on the road.